Wolf of Fantasy Sports DFS Wolfpack. Looking at 2-21, 7 games. Draftkings player pricing. Point guard position, you've got your James Harden, you got your Kyrie Irving going up against the Clippers, who should have Kawhi Leonard back. PG, check who's in the starting lineup. Both of those guys are back. I think Harden, Kyrie are good top tier pay up options. Trey Young, 9,700 versus Denver. I'm probably going to pass on Trey for the pay up option, but I do like Harden. I do like Kyrie. 8,600 for Jamal Murray. He's been on a heater as of late. I just can't pay that much for him. In the 7Ks, I was riding him. Pause all the way up until 8K. Now 8.6. I cannot do it. If you look before his last 4 games, 5 games, he was in the 20, 22, 33, 31. You got Barton back. I'm off of Jamal Murray. If you want to play him on FanDuel. A little bit better of a price. So I'm looking at Van Vliet without Lowry versus Philly. I like that a lot at 82. You know what he's capable of in this matchup versus Philly. I like it a lot. If Simmons is out, I like it even more because nobody's going to be able to check him. De'Aaron Fox is a solid play. Not my favorite. Don't really care for anybody in the mid-range in the point guard position. Delon Wright is out, so that's going to give us a value play. Looking at Darius Garland, 5,600. Very consistent, averaging over 30 minutes in his last 7 games. So I really like Garland here in this matchup versus OKC. Now for value, I'm looking at Theo Maledon at 4,500. He's playing around 30 minutes. So 30, 34, 28, and then 31. So he's getting the 30 minutes that we want in this matchup. Sexton is a solid defender. Garland is a solid defender. I think Theo Maledon at 4,500 value play, solid value play. Going to see 30 minutes. Volatile player. He'll give you 15 to 30. So hopefully we get an upside game. He has shown upside of 36.8 versus Brooklyn. It can happen. Last but not least, we're looking at Dennis Smith Jr. Now, this is a player that was playing in the G League with the Knicks. The Knicks sent him down to the G League. They got Quickly. They got Elf. Now they got D Rose, so they sent him down. Dennis Smith was acquired by Detroit. 4,000 for Dennis Smith. Wright is out. Wright was playing a ton of minutes. If you look here, Wright was averaging 25, 39, 36, 35, 32. Now 25, he left that game. But 39, 36, 35, 32, 37, 46 minutes. I believe that was overtime versus the Lakers. So realistically, Dennis Smith Jr., this is like his last shot. Like when you get sent to Detroit or you get acquired by Detroit, not too many teams are going to take a chance on you. You're just in the G League. Like you've got to prove yourself. It's a great opportunity, a get-right spot. Versus Orlando, Michael Carter-Williams defense. Dennis Smith has to show out. Now, he's a bucket getter. He puts up points. He's going to have to really do his thing here. And if you look, 23, 17, 12, and 13. He should see 20-plus minutes here. I projected for 25 minutes in this game, 25 to 30 minutes in this game. Dennis Smith Jr., 4,000 versus Orlando. I like him. I'm locking him in on DraftKings. Don't like him as much on FanDuel. His price is a little bit higher on FanDuel. And another value play at point guard is DJ Augustine. 3,800. They inserted him into the starting lineup. Milwaukee did last game, and they won the game. They were on a 5-game losing streak. They had to switch up the starting 5. They threw him in. He played 32 minutes, 23 DraftKings points. Versus Sacramento, plays fast. Back and forth game. I like this a lot. Milwaukee needs wins, and I think Augustine's going to start again. So lock him in for another value play. So you got value Dennis Smith Jr. You got DJ Augustine. I wish one of these guys were shooting guard eligible because now you might have to use your utility spot for another guard, for another point guard. Looking at shooting guard position, Kyrie is shooting guard eligible. I like that. So same with Van Vliet. Looking at Norman Powell, he's been playing great lately. Price went up just a little bit from 62 to 69. He's still in play here if there's no Lowry. Also looking at Anthony Edwards. Now 5,900 is good price. You saw his price shoot up to, 6,200 recently, and then it went back down to 6,000. Played 34 minutes, 39, 34, 35, 34. I like the minutes, high 30s, mid 30s. And if you see here his last 2 games, he still put up 22-19. Before that, 51. Showed he has a ceiling, 32-34. But in the last 2 games, he didn't really shoot too good. Now he's putting up a lot of shot attempts, 15 shot attempts, 21 shot attempts. That's what I like to see out of Edwards. 3 for 14, 3 for 15. He still got you 20, 20 plus. If he just hits half his shots, goes 7 for 18, 8 for 16, you're good. He missed all his 3-pointers in the last 2 games. 0 for 7, 0 for 4. I doubt that repeats. I doubt that happens again. I think he gets his shot to fall here versus New York. I think he puts on a show. You saw the kid's a highlight reel with that dunk that he had. I just think the kid's got talent, and when the shots fall, and he's going to put up big scores. And at 5,900, I like him today versus New York. I hope people are off him. Game log watchers looking at the last 2. I'm riding him. So I really like Edwards here in the shooting guard spot. And we'll throw in the chalk play of the day with Dennis Smith Jr. on his last ride in Detroit. Small forward position. You got Kawhi versus Brooklyn. If he plays, you got to like him. Under 10K. Should be a really good game. 8 o'clock. Looking at Norman Powell if Lowry is out. Michael Porter Jr. Like Barton's back, but this guy has upside. It's just he makes mental errors, and he doesn't. He shoots the ball when he got a mismatch. He should throw it down low to Jokic. So you got to really be careful with Michael Porter Jr. If he's cheap on FanDuel, we'll take a look. I'll probably consider him, but on Draftkings, I'll probably pass. The price is right, though. Good GPP play. Doubt anybody goes to him. I like RJ Barrett. 5,400. Played 27, 33, 22, 26, 27. His minutes are down. Like just about 7, 8, 9, 10 games ago, he's playing 40 minutes, 37, 36, 40, 40, 31, 30. His minutes are erratic, but I really like this matchup for him. And if this game stays close, I think he could get 30 plus minutes. That's what we really want out of Barrett. But at 5,400, even if he gets 25 to 28 minutes, I'm happy with it. And it comes down to the shot making with him as well. If you see, when he puts up around 18, 20 DraftKings points, he shoots 2 for 8. But he's taken anywhere from 8 to 14 shot attempts. So I really like Barrett. GPP prices down on him. I'm going to roll with Barrett. If you want to look at some guys that are a little bit cheaper, you do have Huerter that's playing 30 plus minutes. His scores are erratic. You have Reddish. Denver's a little bit more of a tough matchup that I would like to avoid. Cheap value down here. Obviously, if you don't have Kawhi, you can look at Luke Kennard value. You can look at Pat Connaughton, 4,100. He's seen about 28 minutes plus the last 2, so 28, 29, 31 minutes in the last 3. So Pat Connaughton, if his shot's falling, he's going to put up a good score. Okoro's price went up, and he's a real erratic player. Bembry, if he starts again at 3,500, I think he's viable. But for me, I'm going with Barrett for my New York Knickerbockers. I'm definitely going with Barrett here. So I got Dennis Smith Jr., Anthony Edwards, RJ Barrett, power forward position. Obviously, Giannis putting up triple doubles or coming close to triple doubles. So if you look, 29, 19, and 8, 23, 12, and 8, 34, 10, and 8. Triple double upside is there. 4 games ago, he got one, 24, 17, and 10. Sacramento should be a good, solid game. Milwaukee hasn't been blowing teams out. If you look here, they won by 13 points versus OKC. I like this matchup. I like this matchup a lot. So I'm looking at Giannis for my pay-up option. Randall versus Minnesota, definitely in play. Randall stepped his game up this season. If you see, he's putting up monsters left and right. And then he's got some mediocre games in between. So you definitely want to limit your exposure, maybe in like 3 max, 1 out of 3 for Randall. So I'm also looking at Bagley. His minutes were crazy last game. That's what we want to see out of Bagley. 30 plus minutes. Want to see 30 plus minutes out of Bagley. He got 35 last game. Broke the slate with a 48.8 on a low scoring night. Back-to-back game. So you want to be careful here. His minutes probably won't be 35. It'll probably be right around like 27, 25, 27, my guess. So we'll see what happens there. I think he's in play, probably more in play on FanDuel. Price is down a little bit more. For value, I mean, you can gamble with Gallinari. He did play for Denver. That doesn't mean nothing, though. It's in Atlanta, but For value, I think he's solid. He's seeing 25 minutes. Going down, you got Okiki, Birch. You have, I mean, Gary Clark will probably start, but that guy doesn't. He could play 35 minutes. He's not going to do anything. Really nobody down low that I like for power forward. But Jellica could start again. Bobby Portis, 5,100. I think he's viable for GPPs. Ownership shouldn't be too high, but I think you'll see people go back to Bagley. I'm gonna pay up here. I'm gonna just put in Giannis, 11,000. So that's what I got for the first look. Just something to get you started for today. In that center position, you got Embiid, you got Jokic. I like those two guys a lot. Simmons is out. I like Embiid even more. Had a career game last time out, put up 91.8 DraftKings points, 50, 17, 5, and 4, and 2. Like, this guy seems motivated. I'm a Sixers fan, Knicks fan. I follow the Sixers. I've never seen Embiid this motivated. Hopefully this season. I don't think he's going to make MVP because he doesn't play enough games, but I do think he'll be in the conversation. So you got Embiid, Jokic, Vooch. I like the spot for Vooch, but the price is up on Vooch, so I'll take Jokic at 10-8 versus Atlanta all day. Looking at Towns at 9,500, he's viable. I don't think too many people are going to go with him today. Jared Allen, now starting, seen over 30 minutes, 7,100 versus OKC. Dealing with Horford, viable play. Plumlee's price is a little too much for me, but I think he's viable too. He's been putting up numbers versus Vooch. I think he gets somewhere between 25 and 35 today. Horford is GPP viable. And that's pretty much it for value. You got Portis. Whiteside, if he starts, I mean, that's just GPP. If you get lucky and he hits that ceiling game, I'd say it happens maybe like 2 out of 10 games. So good luck. Brook Lopez, viable, GPP. Probably get you anywhere from 20 to 35. And that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to go up at the center spot with Jokic. I'm going to go up at the power forward spot with Giannis. And this is my build. This is my skeleton build I'm putting out here. Let's get it. DFS Wolfpack, Wolf of Fantasy Sports. If you want my plays on FanDuel, if you want access to me, questions, anything you got, card related, sports card related, DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, hit me up direct at Wolf of Fantasy Sports. Let's get to the money. One.